Hey everyone. I had full intentions of making a video for Tuesday and Friday, but my dad passed away today, so I will be taking the week off. There's not much that I can say. It just kind of happened all of a sudden. I want to thank you guys for being the best YouTube family ever. And sticking by me.
Hey everyone. I guess you guys can tell by the tone of this video, this one's going to be really serious. And you know, I always take all my headbands off my chair when it's a serious video. I think between this video and my video on my depression and my anxiety, these are going to be the two top most raw videos I've done. And I wanted to just talk about how the past year has been for me as far as grieving the loss of my father. I just filmed another look, so if the shirt looks familiar, that's why. I just filmed another video and I stripped that look down and put a little bit of something on so I don't look too dull. But I do want to talk about how this past year has been dealing with the loss of my father. As you saw in the little clip before, a year ago today, I lost my dad. It was very unexpected. His heart gave out due to some personal demons that he had. I really don't want to go into too many specifics because I don't want anybody to, one, be triggered by this video, even though I am going to be talking about some sensitive subjects. And I don't feel like it's the right time to talk about his demons. But his heart gave out due to his demons, and it was a really big blow. It really was. It was the first death that I had experienced where my world completely changed. Now, my grandparents, passed away before them, and their deaths changed my world because they helped raise my older sister, my younger brother, and myself. But when my dad passed away, that was just on a whole other level of pain, because it's a parent. And I had seen my mom and my aunts and my uncle go through this because they lost both of their parents, and I never really could imagine at that time losing a parent. And then it happened. It was the worst phone call I had gotten in a long time. And the sad part about it is that I had been expecting that phone call for so long. And when it finally came, it was just like, it was a blow to my whole entire body. It was a blow to my mind. It was a blow to my heart. It was a blow to my gut. And it just, it it tore me up. I had heard about the stages of grieving before, but I never really implemented them in my life because I feel like everybody grieves differently. Like, yeah, there are 7 stages, but I think everybody grieves differently in what order those 7 stages are. Some say it's 5, some say it's 7. Either way, everybody grieves differently. I know for the first, I want to say 2 weeks, I was gone. And I put on that brave face, you know, for my family and for my siblings. My younger brother and my 2 half siblings, I did put on that brave face, but inside I was so torn up that I could not make heads or tails of anything. And I was gone. I checked out. I did. Then about the 3rd week, I started pulling myself back into some kind of rhythm because I saw that I couldn't stay in that mind frame for too long because I had so much to do. I had so much else to do because Thanksgiving was coming. Well, Thanksgiving had already passed, but I had Christmas coming. I had, you know, birthdays coming in January, and I had a YouTube channel to run, and I had Instagram posts to do, and I had makeup reviews to do, and I thought in my head that if I just went full force into everything I had to do, I would feel better. Boy, was I wrong. I felt, after the holidays were done and over with, I felt so crippled by the loss. And then I felt like I really didn't get to grieve properly because of me just diving back into everything. There were times when I would sit on my bed and cry and, you know, have my moments, but I really didn't just let it go during that time. It was really hard. I would say the first 3 months, it was really hard. Because all I wanted to do was call his phone and hear his voicemail, but I was on his voicemail. So it was like, well, crap. But my half-brother Matthew, his girlfriend, sent me a voice clip of a message he had left her, and I still have it to this day. I'm just gonna warn you right now, I'm gonna cry. But the first 3 months were just like, I wanted to get back on with my life, but I also wanted to just like do nothing. We're going to test out how waterproof this liner actually is, and I think it's already failed. But I just wanted to do nothing. I just wanted to lay in my bed and cry. I didn't want to do anything. But I knew I had to be strong. And I knew that I had to be the Melissa that everybody wanted me to be. Even though I was going through such immense pain. So, a few months more go by, and I had my moments where I was just in the fog, and I was like a zombie. There was one day, I got out the shower, and I sat on my bed. The hubster was at work. I got out the shower, I sat on my bed, and I stared out my window for an hour. And just zoned out. For an hour. Just hoping that someone would tell me that he was okay, that he wasn't gone. Even though I knew in my heart that, that wasn't gonna happen. So, had that moment, and I had those foggy moments a couple times. I really did. I just couldn't really grasp that I couldn't really grasp what I was dealing with. It just, I hadn't accepted it. I hadn't accepted that he was gone. And at that point, I started to get angry. And I mean very angry. I never let that show through, my videos, and I never let it show through my posts, and I never let it show, on social media. I was downright freaking angry. I was angry at myself. I was angry at him. I was angry at the woman that he was with that put him through so much pain, that made him turn to what he did. I was angry at the person who gave him what he wanted, whenever he wanted. I was just, I wanted to punch the walls out because I was so angry. And I was mainly angry at myself. Because even though I knew that day was going to come, I was so angry at myself that I didn't do enough to stop it. And there were times I would just look in the mirror and be like, why didn't I do anything? Why didn't I love him more? Why wasn't I there for him more? It just, my heart just was bursting with anger, mainly at myself. And I would cry the angriest cries. I tend to tell people I have two types of cries. I have the sad cry face, and then I have the mean cry face, where I'm so angry and I'm so upset that I have this mean look on my face while I cry. And whew, I had it. My husband, thank God, just knows when not to mess with me when I have that mean cry face on. So after the anger subdued, I continued to carry on with my life. And all this time, there were only two people I really talked to, and that was a hubster and my mom. I had talked to a few of my friends, but I didn't want to feel like I was a burden to them. That's how I've always been when it comes to talking about my feelings. I'm always the one to be all like, if you need anything, just, come to me and I'll be there for you. But when it comes to my issues, I tend not to talk to anybody because I feel like I'm a burden to them. And I think that was probably because partly when I was growing up, I really didn't have anybody to talk to. So I think that's probably why I'm like that. But I had the hoster and I had my mom, and I was glad I had those two. And like I said, I talked to my friends a couple times, but mainly the hubster and my mom. When he passed away, I knew that he loved me. He apologized to me for not being the type of father he should have been, and for the father that he was. And it just... thinking about all of that over the past year has just been so mind-blowing. And so numb. It made me really numb to think about that stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling now. I don't know. But I took a long, hard look at our relationship over this past year that he's been gone. And it's been tough. It really has been tough. I mean, right after he passed away, I dealt with the first Thanksgiving he was gone. Then the first Christmas, the first New Year's Eve, his birthday, the first Father's Day, my first birthday 2 days before Christmas. And going through all of those holidays without him was heartbreaking. So, I cried a lot this past year. I'm just gonna just go with it. I've cried a lot this past year. I've screamed. I've held on to his pillow because I took one of his pillows from his bed. I've stared at pictures of him. I've stared at his urn that's sitting on a shelf on my wall. I've thought about the what ifs. I've been angry at people. I've been angry at myself. And I learned that that's okay. That's how I'm gonna heal. And while I may grieve his death the day that I die, I know that he's proud of me of everything that I've done. And I know that he loves me so much. And if you're going through a loss, grieve the way that you want to grieve. If you want to be alone, be alone. If you want your significant other there, have your significant other. If you want your best friend, your mom, your brother, your sister, somebody, if you want somebody there, have somebody there. If you want to grieve with a group of people, then have a group of people around. There's no wrong way to grieve. None at all whatsoever. But this past year has definitely been hard dealing with his death. And they always say the first year is the hardest, even though they say that about marriage, but I just think the first year is the hardest of anything. So I think now that I've gotten through this first year, I can go on with my life, even though I may still have my moments, that I can go on with my life and know that he's not suffering, and know that he's in a better place, and like I said before, that he's proud of me and that he loves me. So I am going to wrap this up. I am welcome to talk about anything down below. If you guys want to chat in the comments, whatever, doesn't matter. But I will see you guys